friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today with another scrapbooking process video. Today's share is part of the Scraptember challenges that are happening this month on YouTube's. The lovely Laura Alberts invited me to play along. Laura and I are both on the Cocoa Vanilla Studios design team, so I thought it might be fun to use one of their collections for this share, and I'm going with the Legendary collection for this one. One of the prompts for the challenge for today is black and white, and I knew that this collection had a lot of black and white and grey in it, so I am going to be pulling on those elements, and I'm also going to be using quite a lot of the blues to kind of coordinate with that, which you'll all see in a moment. There is also a sketch inspiration for every day in the month of September this year, which is really fun. I love a sketch challenge. And for this one, I thought I would also use the sketch and be inspired to create a cut file based on it, which I have done right here. This one is called Stars Squared, and I will leave a link to the cut file in the description box below and details on how you can grab your copy of this one. Now, I have gone ahead off camera and backed the cut file. I am sticking with the black and white from the collection and then teaming it with the greys and blues, which is really just drawing inspiration from my photo. See, my photo there does have a lot of blue and grey in it, so I'm just going to keep it to those really simple colours, black, white, grey and blue. And of course, because I have a plan and I know where I'm going, my ATG decided to run out of tape. So I am super quickly going to refill that now, and then I can get working on this little plan that I have going for the page. Okay, so with that sorted, I am going to add the cut file to the background of the layout, and in the sketch you might have noticed that that is definitely on an angle, which is an interesting one for me because if I was just creating this layout without the sketch, there is no way that I would position this on an angle like this. I prefer things to be very straight on my layout. So this was fun actually to just, do something a bit different and sort of, I was really sure to stay true to the sketch for this one because it was a little bit out of my comfort zone. What I do end up doing though is placing my photos straight on the page, and I feel like that's a little bit of a compromise. I'm staying true to that urge that I have to make everything straight, but then because that cut file in the background is such a large element and it is on an angle, that's the element that's sort of the nod to the sketch. Oh yes, and if you're new here, yes, I cut my double-sided tape. I don't tear it, I cut it. I like it that way. Isn't it funny, the little quirks that we all have in our creative process? I'm a big fan of just embracing those, and yeah, they're part of who you are and they're part of what ends up being on your page, so I'm all for them. Okay, so with my photo and cut file locked into position, I am going to do a quick sweep through the ephemera pieces in the collection. This is a couple of packs all just whacked in together into a baggie. And I'm going to actually pull out everything that's grey, black, white or blue. Any of the elements that have any other colours on them, there's some orange and green in the collection, I'm going to exclude those. And I'm also going to just see if there's any elements that I know won't work. So there was I think there was some bears. There was a few things that I was like, no, there was some circles because I had so many stars going on. I knew I didn't want to add any of those big die cut circles. So I excluded those and a few other things so that everything that I have out here on the right are definite possibilities. I do talk a lot about this on my channel. I find it hard to make decisions. So I've just learned over the time that my best strategy to combat that is to have less to choose from. So I will usually do a quick sweep and just pull out all the things that I know could possibly work for my layout, and that's what I have here. quite often when I'm doing that sweep, something will catch my eye and it will really help to sort of move the layout into the next stage. So I talk about this a little bit on my channel as well. I think about the layout like layers in a cake. So for this page, my background and the cut file are the base layer of the cake. I'm then going to add a little bit of dimension for my photo, so it's backed on foam, and it will become the middle layer of the cake. And the die cut ephemera that I'm adding now will also be the middle layer. Often my title is the middle layer of the cake as well, and I'm focusing on blending the background and the middle layer of the cake so they're cohesive. So for this page, I really wanted to work with the stars. It kind of made sense. This collection has a lot of stars in it. The cut file and the sketch have lots of stars in them. So why not just roll with that, go with the flow that's already naturally coming from the page. And I am going to be adding quite a few layered stars on this one. This collection comes with a whole packet of titles, and they're all in this lovely bold black, and I thought that's a tick to the black and white element. So I am going to go with this title, Hey Dude, and following along with the sketch, the title is on the right of the photo, so I am going to position it there. But I do have a little bit of trouble with it because, which I did not think ahead, the cut file is on an angle, but the photo is perfectly straight. So should my title be on an angle in line with the cut file, or should my title be straight in line with the photo? I do think absolutely either would have worked. I don't think it would have been a problem either way. And I do start out trying to get that title in line with the cut file, so on a slight angle, which is how it is in the sketch. And I think that's why I did try initially to have it that way. But then as I was making the page and adding elements, especially the elements that are above the word hey there, that circle, and then I do end up adding a flare button as well, they end up being more in line with the photo, so straight. And then it just, for me, felt a bit off. I don't know. Anyway, it does end up straight, and I do like how it all worked out in the end. So with the embellishment clusters, I am just following along with a sketch. So there is a smaller cluster to the top left of the photo. The large cluster will be on the right of the photo above my title there. And then there'll be sort of a medium one that's on the bottom edge of the photo. And it's really just I'm really just basing them on collections of stars. Now, to help my layers all blend together, I am actually going to tuck just a couple of the die cut stars underneath the cut file. And then I'm also going to add, using some foam tape, a couple of stars on top as extra layers there as well. And you'll see they're just offset, so they're not perfectly lined up with the stars in the cut file. They are sort of tilted a little bit just to add a little bit of interest and some layers. And yeah, I'm just really going with that visual triangle that's in the sketch. So if you were to draw a line between the 3 embellishment clusters, the photo would be in the center of that triangle shape. You'll see here too that I did add in a moon from the die cut pack. I just felt that was a different icon, so something that wasn't a star, that still fit with the theme of the page. Yeah, I know my photo's not at night, but I don't know, it worked for me. The more I scrapbook, the more I take icons less seriously. I hope that makes sense, in that when I'm doing a layout about my daughter's birthday, I'm not always necessarily looking for birthday iconed elements. I'm happy to have, a cute little bicycle or floral elements. I'm really not so concerned these days with a particular die cut matching perfectly to my photo or the layout. I'm finding that I'm a little bit more flexible, and I just add things that I think look cute and that I like. And I guess, do you know what? I guess it's more the color and the size and shape of an element that makes me drawn to it more than, oh, this is a birthday page, so I need to add a birthday cake to my birthday page. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, things are getting serious because I am gluing things down. Yes, going ahead with my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and I'm going to lock the cut file into position now. I know that I don't want to be sliding anything else underneath that one, so it can be locked in. And I also use this, I find this part quite therapeutic in that it's a bit like a breath. I can just not really think about it, just go through the layout and glue everything down, and then just take a breath and see where the layout's at. I'm also going to add in a flare button to cover up the word authentic on that die cut. It was orange, and I made a rule. I didn't want any other colors other than my blue, black and white. And it's really at that point that I'm like, now I'm not so sure that my title should be on an angle. I think I want it straight. And I think it's this part here, this die cut piece here, that forces that issue, because I end up putting it in the bottom corner of my photo there, and it just looked weird to have it perfectly straight in the bottom, along the bottom edge of my photo, and it couldn't be crooked on the bottom edge of my photo, otherwise it looked weird. So then that kind of, because it's text, I guess, that dictated that the title needed to be straight. So it was kind of in that moment that that decision was made. It's at this point in the page that I'm not sure what to do with that little blue gap that's between the frame on the left and my photo. I do end up just adding the 1 star there, and you know what? That worked. That was enough for me. It sort of balanced out the stars a little bit more, because before I had that added, there was stars above the photo, to the right of the photo, and at the bottom of the photo, but then the left-hand side there was empty. So just by adding one sort of worked out for me. I also do add in an arrow underneath the title and some of the accessory sticker sentiments. I like to add these with 3D foam tape, and they are absolutely what I would consider the top layer of the cake, or the finishing elements in the layout. They're really great touch, actually. I find that they just round out the page really, really nicely. I do also find some black enamel dots in my stash. This collection came with enamel dots, but not solid black ones. And I just felt that it was another little nod to my black and white theme, but it also balanced out the black in that flare. See how it's sort of really the only solid black element on the page? Even the title is like a grey black. And when you see in the images at the end of the video, when you see the enamel dots added, it just really pulls everything together. So I do add those right at the end. I am going to add one more star element in the top left-hand corner of my photo, and then glue down everything that is not already adhered properly. Thank you so much for being here, my creative friends. If you like the way that I scrapbook, or the way that I chat about the way that I scrapbook, I would love it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all about the products that I've used or my creative process, I'd love to answer those. You can leave them in the comments below. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to see more just like this. I do share quite regularly. I will also remind you that there are the details for the cut file in the description box below, so go and check how you can grab your copy of this design here. Also, there is links for the details of Scraptember. So much happening, so much inspiration, so be sure to check that out as well. I will leave you with close-up images as I always do. Thank you for spending your creative time with me, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, bye!